Today is Saturday, April 14th, 2012, and we are interviewing Robert J. Arens, Jr. in Springfield. And Robert, can you please state your age, name, and I am Cheryl Walker, and I'll be interviewing you.
My name is Robert J. Arens, Jr., and I'm 45 years old.
Okay, and what was the war and branch of service you served in?
I served in the United States Navy in support of Desert Storm, Desert Shield.
Okay. Bob, what was your rank in the service?
I was Petty Officer, 3rd class.
Okay. And where did you serve?
I served at various duty stations throughout the world. I started my boot camp at Great Lakes, Illinois. Went to MSA school in San Diego, California. Came back to Great Lakes. Flew to San Diego, and then flew.
Okay, so you flew to
San Diego, then over to Bahrain in support of Operation Desert Shield, Desert Storm. After my time was up in Iraq, I was flown out to the USS Chancellorsville, the guided missile cruiser, with the home port of San Diego, California, and that's where I was discharged.
What was your job assignment?
My primary job assignment was a Navy cook, an MS. I loved to cook, and that's what I joined the service for, to learn culinary skills, and to this day I do that now.
So the food was pretty good in the service?
The food was good when I cooked.
What were some of the awards and medals or citations that you received?
The Food Service Chief Award for the month of November 1989 up at Great Lakes for all my time in service and my skills. Sea Service for being stationed out at sea for a long period of time. Iraq Liberation Medal, Kuwait Liberation Medal, Southwest Asia Service Medal was for the medals that we received for our time during Operation Desert Shield, Desert Storm. The good, I think I've already said, it's Good Conduct Medal. That's about it.
What was the Food Service of the Month award? Can you tell us about that?
The Food Service Achiever Award was for outstanding job performance, and it only gets awarded to the people that show exemplary skills in their job and go above and beyond helping others at their time of need.
Tell us about staying in touch with your family.
At the time I was in the service, I was an only child. I had a mother and father. My mother was deaf. Father was working. That's the reason why I joined the service, was to be able to help my parents out. And it's just to provide them a better life than what they were having. And that's why I went into the service, to be able to do that for them.
Did you have plenty of supplies when you were in service to do your job?
Oh, we had plenty of supplies. We made sure, our chiefs made sure we had ample food and stuff to take care of our troops and whatever they needed at that time. We made sure that we never ran out.
How many ships were you on?
2.
And what ships were they?
The USS Nimitz was an aircraft carrier, and the USS Chancellorsville was a guided missile cruiser.
Did you have or do anything special for good luck?
Prayed. That was pretty much the main thing. You know, was having the praying guy was by my side when times were tough, knowing that he was there.
How did you entertain yourself?
Friends, actively helping other people out that needed the help. There was a special need that I had, was I was able to help my other sailors and soldiers out at their time of need, to comfort them and so forth. And that was my special gift that I had, was always to be there for my fellow brothers and sisters.
Did you go in the service on a buddy system, or did you go in by yourself?
I just went in by myself.
Were there any entertainers that came to see you during your time in service?
And Garth Brooks came down, was on our ship. Parts of Under Siege with Steven Seagal was filmed as part of our stay in San Francisco. So we kind of worked side by side with Steven Seagal. As you know, in Under Siege, he portrayed a Navy cook. And that was probably that was right after Desert Storm, coming back to the United States after being out of the United States for over a year, and being told that we're going to be part of this movie was kind of rewarding for all of us for what we've done, you know. So that was very special.
So if we watch Under Siege, will we see you in there?
You wouldn't see us on there. We just basically a lot of the stuff was filmed in other parts, but some of the exterior shots and stuff like that was done in San Diego, or not San Diego, San Francisco. And he was there, and he came and introduced himself and took pictures and whatnot. And he was explaining why what the movie was going to be about. It was kind of, you know, to see this man who was very tall, and that here he is going to be portraying us as Navy cooks, was something to say. There's other titles that you could portray in a movie, but Navy cook, that's what they wanted. That was it. That was exciting. You know, that was nice to see. You know.
What did you do when you were on leave? Did you get any leaves, and where'd you go?
I came home to take care of my parents. You know, they really didn't know what I was doing, where I was going. Obviously, in fact, my mom being deaf, she couldn't really talk on the phone, so wrote letters, a lot of letters back and forth. You know, made sure that she knew I was okay. You know, I was a mama's boy, so I had to, you know, she was very upset at times when I went into the service, because I was leaving her. And it was a hard decision, but I had to do it for myself, because I needed to, you know, to be able to provide for my parents. And that was the most rewarding thing I could ever done.
Do you recall any particular humorous or unusual event?
I think the most humorous event that I can remember was our last day in the United States before we were flying overseas. Was I met a few friends in San Diego, and we had a little bit to drink, and we almost did not make it to the plane to leave to go overseas because it was, well, our last night in the United States, and we didn't know what we were getting ourselves into, so we lived it up. You know, we didn't know what we were getting ourselves into, or we were going to come back, so we wanted to make that, you know, that this way we could all share if we ever met, and in the future we could always remember that last night in the United States. And that's what I remember.
Are you in contact with those friends?
Two got killed in Iraq, and I've stayed in touch with one, and then he got killed.
I'm sorry to hear that. Do you recall the day your service ended?
Yeah, it was a hard decision to make. My chief came up to me and says, "Bob, you know, we have there's the American Red Cross here. I need to speak to you about your mother." And basically said that my mother had a heart attack, and that thing that she was wishing for was to see her son, and that they were granting me leave, but they said because I had a lot of time on the books, that if I wanted to leave the service early, that I could. And it was a hard decision to make because I really enjoyed being in the service, but to know that, you know, I didn't know how serious the heart attack was or whatnot. I had to make a split decision, and I said I'm taking the time and just discharged me. They discharged me, honorable discharge, and I was able to leave the ship quietly. Nobody knew, and didn't really expect my time to end, but I had to take care of mom. And then she lasted about 3 years, and that was about it. I came back to Chicago and took care of her.
Did you use the GI Bill to get your education?
Yes.
And what did you do with getting, what kind of education did you get?
Fire science degree. I'm actually in the process of getting my degree with that now.
And what do you do now?
Firefighter.
Do you enjoy that?
Love it. Wouldn't give it up.
Is there anything you'd like to add, Bob?
I would like to add that whoever sees this video, if it's my family or friends, that I love you guys. The reason why I do what I do for our vets is I have that need to help others. As being in the service, being a firefighter, you know, I'm always there to help others and help my family. And for people that don't know, I still carry a heavy heart, because my friends that were killed in Iraq was the fact I was one step higher than them in rank. And they went one way, I went another, and that's where they got killed. And it was done by a couple of months. And to this day, I feel guilty knowing I took a promotion and that they didn't get promoted, and I did, and I could have been in that position. And to this day, it hurts. I can't go. One is buried here in Chicago, and to this day I can't go to the cemetery because I hold this guilty feeling, and I know I shouldn't hold it against me, but I still feel that I should be there and he shouldn't. And I lost contact with his family. I wish I could find his family. So there's still quite a few things I could say about him that his family probably doesn't know about.
Do you want to share any thoughts?
Well, Wes was the kind of guy, well, we were like brothers. We did everything together. We went everywhere together. We both volunteered for Red Cross before we went to the service. He joined the Marines. I joined the Navy. We stayed in contact. When we got overseas, I looked him up, was able to get a hold of him. It was about 1.5 years later that I didn't see him. And here we are in a foreign country. Seeing each other for the first time was great. Big hugs, stuff like that, staying in touch. Just didn't get the word when I get back here to Chicago after my time in the service that he was killed in Iraq. And I was wondering why he wasn't answering, and I just figured he lost his phone or what. But then when I found that out, it was, you know, life's too short. He had 2 kids, you know, which I was their uncle. And I just hope I someday find his wife and kids and just be able to say, you know how Wes was. There's things that Wes and I have done and people don't even want to know what we did, but he was my brother. And it's very hard to think about it, knowing that he's in a grave, and I just don't have the courage to go visit him, because it just, every time I even drive by the cemetery, knowing that's where he's at, it just breaks my heart. I'm gonna hold this and, you know, have this with me until I go. I just want my family to know that, you know, or his family to know that, you know, he was a great husband, a great father, and I'm just trying to follow in his footsteps as I'm in the process of adopting a 4-year-old and just follow his lead. You know, he was 2 years older than me, and we were just. That's what I would like to say about Wes. I miss you.
Bob, I thank you for sharing that. And I thank you for your time that you spent in the service for us. I appreciate it. Thank you.